So, the infamous WE-ber State Library. So, this is an important video. So, you know what we've been up against as far as COVID. They're going to release the mask mandate at the university libraries in Utah on the 25th or 24th of June. So, you think I have some influence around here? These are the young librarians that did that. So, I've been on them about Sudoku. I've been educating them as much as I can. That this famous, infamous library, the same library that Mark Hoffman did all his work in here. I just talked to him that Howard Hughes, Melvin Dumar forged the will here. I can go on. Edward Abbey did so much of his work in here. Kevin Blanche, famous, infamous. So, that's the employees have been doing that. Haven't got to 1,000 yet. And I says, well, neither did Sudoku. You know, this is important because this is the university that built the reactors at Fukushima, Japan. You know, we're all, what's the Japanese word? Hibisco? Hibakusha? I mean, I butchered it, but, you know, I'll post the word, which is the Japanese word for survivor of the bomb. So this is important historic stuff. So after the bomb, you know, folding 1,000 paper cranes, and I want to say this to all you up in Oregon, you're all origami, fold it up and just pretend that Fukushima didn't happen. Salmon collapse. I've done all this historic work here. So, she's an 11-year-old girl. She gets leukemia. She knows the Japanese ancient myth. Folding 1,000 paper cranes will give you the gift from the gods. She starts folding paper cranes. She gets to 644. I'm going to tag this. We need to finish the last 456. We're all now Fukushima, Fukushima. So, it's important. The Enola Gay flew out here in Utah. So I do a ceremony at the Enola Gay hangar for, I'm on 46, 47 years now. The hangar was falling down in disarray when I was doing my art's the only art that's ever hung in there. My giant skins and every nationality's cover. So Jim Peterson, who's a Jim, he rolled in and we started working. He started working, restoring that nightmare out there, just abandoned hell. It went over Utah. That's the Enola Gay hangar. That's where it flew out. Tippett's office. So we had a big dinner. I sat in Tippett's chair. He was an asshole. I interviewed Jepson before he died. He pushed the bomb. So, Sudoku's very own niece, she dies of leukemia. So, Truman forms a commission to go. They studied for 30, just lied. To this day, we haven't seen the real footage. To this day, the museums won't show those incredible paintings. I have lots of, copies of them. So, they came and they made peace 3 years ago. So, 4 years ago, actually, it's going on 4. In Wendover. Restored the Officers Club Jim has. Last year on the 75th anniversary, my little grandson, we just had this conversation. He says, I got interviewed by Fox News. I said, yeah, you got to go down the fire pole. Kevin Blanche's video proof. That video that Ackerman and Patrick McCormick and I did with all our paintings hanging on the old fence. The fence is gone now. The building's been restored now, the hangar. My art is hung in there. So Sudoku's very own niece comes. International media from all over the world show up. HNK's there. German media. Chinese media. Media from Sweden, Germany, Denmark. You name it, they're there. Utah media? Nope. KUTV Channel 4 showed up there late and interviewed Jim real late, but I emailed every history professor, chemistry professor, biology professor at WE-ber State, Utah State, BYU. None. Zero. None of them came. So, her own niece. So I'll try to find the picture. I got to hold it second. Jim's son got to hold it first, rightfully so. So I got to hold it. There's only 3 real ones, I think, in the United States. It's one of them that she folded. I got to hold it. My grandson's the only child that's ever got to hold it. So, her own niece walks up to me, and this is for you, Kevin Blanche. And she handed me that fan that's made from recycled folded paper. Now, this is important because the oldest 24/7 vigil, the Hiroshima Nagasaki vigil, Well, the peace vigil we have in front of the White House, which even when they kicked us out of there, even when Trump tear gassed us, even when Trump, Filippo, his name's not Thomas. Everybody thinks his last name's Thomas. No, that's his middle name. His name's Hellenbach. Truman put us to hell and back. So, I've been at this my whole life. I gotta hold it. This is for you, Kevin Blanch. Now, don't you think? Local Utah boy, 7th generation, goes in a bone marrow transplant, leukemia, the same disease that killed Sudoku, 11-11-11. The book that was written in 1977 when I was in high school, I was already going to university here at Weber State. I remember when that book came out, all the English department here had everybody reading it. It's a great book. So, Sanjay Gupta and Anderson Vanderbilt Cooper are in Fukushima, Japan, after the tsunami and meltdowns. 6 days, all day, every day. Are these meltdowns? Are these nuclear meltdowns? Are these nuclear meltdowns? Are these nuclear meltdowns? Are these? They come home. Not a word. Sanjay Gupta, MD, on a Saturday morning, on the 25th of March 2011, right after Obama had given the greatest lie in human history. I want you to know what I know on St. Patrick's Day, 2011. The plume isn't dangerous yet. It will be coming over us. We don't know. We're going to keep you abreast. We're going to let you know what we know. Never said a word. He was flown out of the country with Jeffrey Melt. This is the University of General. This is why this is so historic. This is the university. This is Floor Construction. This is Utah Construction. This is GE. This is who built all the nuclear engines. Chalk River, the first nuclear accident, right here. Right here, Utah Construction built Chalk River. They have, right there where I was videoing, they have a big TV and they have a display on the Chalk River. Utah, that's the Stewart Library, that's the heir to the football stadium, all of the endowment, all of it. GG. I taught at the #1 school. First time I graduated here, I was 18. Art school. Biology. BIS. I understood this dynamic because I watched my dad die of this disease. Nuked the Nevada test site. We're all now. So they come and they're like, we want to make peace over this. People have no clue that to this day it's covered up, just like Fukushima. How did they learn to cover up Fukushima? Hiroshima, Nagasaki. The model was meant. We took Japan, Yalta by the Sea. Stalin, you get Eastern Europe. We take Japan. We turn it into our nuclear test island. Boy, it come back to haunt us, didn't it? The greatest event in human history. Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Fukushima. And it's killed the Pacific Ocean. It's fucking wiped it out. So, you don't think I have an influence on those young librarians? There's a new generation that grew up with Kevin Blanch. Whose idea was this? Well, you got us going. I says, wow. We've been folding them ourselves. The librarian's doing this thing. She got to 644 and she died. Sanjay Gupta comes home. He's a practicing neurosurgeon. I come from a family of doctors. My uncle's a famous neurosurgeon. I ran this by him. He says he should be in prison for this. Vincent Hansen, I asked him about it. He should go to jail for what he did. On his show, he has a doctor come on. He has this artist from Michigan. I had romantic fever during Chernobyl. I watched all that. I went to Chernobyl. It's all good and it's fine. This doctor, my 11-year-old friend died of leukemia as a little girl. Uses the Sudoku metaphor intentionally. I found out the radiation isn't bad for you. It's good. I went psycho. I went crazy on this YouTube. That's when I get 30, 40,000 views a day. That's back when that was a lot. Before they turned it into cable TV. They pulled down the transcript. I go crazy for 2 years. Fighting for my life with cancer. What a spit in the face to everybody who's died of leukemia, got leukemia, to the millions and millions and millions of we're all now. An insider from CNN says here, years later, here it is. I read it online, I put it on, just like the KOK study, the international that Ken Buckafuck abusers on, I put it online. Hillary's emails, the retracted ones, I put them online. All that work while I'm fighting for my life, like her. As I call it, unfolding paper cranes, I was. I'm not origami. I don't fold it up and just pretend. a book's powerhouse should be required reading in every freaking junior high and high school in this country, which it was for a time. So, you think I have an influence around here? He says, we're going to get to 1,000. It's a whole nother young generation. Origami. Origamis. They fold it up and just pretend. Very real. Folding 1,000 paper cranes. She got to 644 and she died. Truman's fake Dorothy Day. The radical. Truman, Truman, Truman. You're a real fucking Truman. I hope the new discovered jet stream. I hope their vaporized bodies get into the jet stream and suck up in through your nose into your head and give you cancer and kill you and send you to hell. The greatest event in human history? Oh, the bomb. Oh boy. Until Fukushima happened. Where did they learn to cover up Fukushima? Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Still this day. So you think I have an influence around here? So thrilled when I had this conversation with these guys today. Kevin Blanch, I got to hold it in my hand. I've done that ceremony out there at the Nola Gay Hangar in Wendover, Utah, 47 years. A lot of artists used to come with. Nobody comes. I say all the time, it's usually by myself. Me and my grandson went, Jim. There was people out there this year on the 75th. Fox News interviewed my little grandson. Of course, they ain't gonna touch me. When we got the Officers Club, when Sudoku's niece came and her nephew, there's a great photograph of her and I together presenting it to me, and she's like, "You're the guy, Kevin Blanch." Yeah. HNK was there. I mean, media from all over the world. I remember HNK Los Angeles called me a few days later, and I said, well, I'm headed to Europe. You know, so it was 2017, August 6th. Important historical day. So you think that you can just erase things and time goes by and get rid of it. Not in the day of the internet, not in this digital age. You can lie to these students all you want, these young people, like you did our generation. We're not fucking having it. You got guys like Kevin Blanch with a YouTube camera. John Huntsman to Kevin Blanch right here. Well, I'm just a broke down activist with a YouTube camera trying to save you from you. You're a billionaire in Russia. When the SMRs blew up, I collected the data. Well, you're a billionaire. You got the platform. You got the stage. I'm just a guy fighting for his life full of cancer with a YouTube camera. Kevin Blanch, come here. Well, you know that's significant, you think? Kevin Blanch, from the landscape to the library. Back to the landscape soon. Me and Ed Abbey. Growth for the sake of growth. Utah did it. They turned northern Utah, the Wasatch Front, into Los Angeles. Dirty Herbie, his plan. So, folding paper cranes. She folded 644, then she died. Stand tuned.